Romania, Spain, Latvia. Woo! We've got people from literally everywhere tuning in. How are you guys? On a score of 1 to 10, 1 being feeling terrible, 10 being on fire, let me know what you are. 1 to 10, that'd be amazing. Oh, look at those 10s. 6, 8, 9. Some of you guys being super realistic and honest there. 10, 10, 10, 10, 10. I love to see it. All right, cool. So let me kind of let you into a little, maybe not like a little secret. I don't know. I just did that, and now my Zoom is saying that I'm speaking in Italian, which is an interesting thing to be in. Anyway, let me let you into a little secret. I titled this an emergency call. And is it an emergency? I think so. But when I share with you what I believe to be an emergency, a lot of you are going to go, oh, is that it? Is that it? Like, I cancelled all my Wednesday plans for that. No way. And in my opinion, it's a big deal. A lot of you will be like, huh, really? What? So let me explain something to you guys. How many of you guys, drop a 3 in the chat. Drop a 3 in the chat if you, Julie, I see that you're from Yorkshire, the UK, good work. Drop a 3 in the chat if you've been involved in the business. Let's go, yes. If you've been involved in the business since COVID, all right? If you've been involved in the business since COVID, and for those of you who are worried that I'm not recording, I'm recording on my other device, so all is good. All right, cool. So what you will have noticed since COVID, that the business just went, boom, spiked up, and ever since the end of COVID, right? Ever since the end of COVID, it's slowly been declining, or so it feels. And I will tell you that in the UK, in the US, it feels like that decline has started to continue and continue and continue and continue and continue. But I'm someone who travels all over the world for a living. I'm someone who speaks to people in every single country for a living. I don't know anyone who's more connected to the network marketing space than I am in terms of internationally at different levels, new people, leaders, corporates, right? And what I'm finding is network marketing's on fire. Network marketing is on fire in the UK, in different parts of Europe, in different parts of Canada, Latin America, some parts of Australia. It's on fire. And a lot of people are worried that, like, oh, you know, I'm seeing people going to start affiliate marketing, and I'm seeing people that are getting started in this MRR stuff, and people are getting sidetracked, and people are jumping from company to company into company. Who cares? And it shouldn't matter if the industry is on fire or the industry is not. Here's why. There are many different levels. This is, let's go, the profession is here. And this is what happened, right? When the profession was on fire, it then set your company on fire. For those of you who are in COVID, drop a 4 in the chat if you felt like, oh my days, our company was absolutely flying during COVID. Everything we touched turned to gold. This is easy. Like, if it continues like this, in 3 years from now, I'm going to be making $1 million a week. This is not, that's an exaggeration, but anyway, right? So what then happened is your company, because of COVID, let's go, COVID, created a profession that was on fire. Your company went on fire, which means the different teams within the company were on fire, which means the different groups within the company were on fire, which guess what? Meant that, you were on fire. Yes, amazing, fantastic. Guess what? Now that COVID is not a thing and the world can go back to normal, it's now not going to be the profession that's on fire that's going to help you become on fire. Instead, you need to be on fire that sets your groups on fire, which sets your teams on fire, which sets the companies on fire. And when there are a number of companies on fire, guess what? The profession is on fire. When I mean on fire, I mean like high energy, everything's growing, everything's great, everything's amazing, not like on fire and everything burns to the ground. Okay? So like, there we are. So like, you'll find when it says you might be able to do a certain amount, but it's the leaders within the organizations, which by the way determines when the industry is in a dip, right? If the industry goes up, then it comes down, then it goes up again. This is when, and this is where the leadership is created in the dip. Not when times are good, during COVID, and not once you've got through it, always in the dip. How do you react? Are you like, oh no, this is the end? Like, you know, there's different opportunities and different companies with better compensation plans and different models and blah, 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 blah. No. No. So, the leaders are going to create the next wave. So my question to you is, who's ready to become one of the next leaders? If you feel that is you, drop a 6 in the chat. You don't have to be a leader right now. You might be the leader in 3 months from now, 6 months from now, 12 months from now, whatever it might be. But it is fundamental that we level up the level of leadership here. And I'm going to share with you maybe some things that can help you with this, starting with the absolute fundamentals. So here we go. Have you ever heard, drop a 7 in the chat, if you've ever heard that history has a tendency to repeat itself? If you've ever heard that before, history has a tendency to repeat itself. Okay? Wow, we've nearly maxed out the Zoom. Well done, guys. So, what I've found over the years is like that it kind of has cycles, right? We start here, okay? So, fashion has a cycle. The fitness industry has a cycle. Relationships have a cycle. And business, in this example, network marketing, has a cycle too, right? So, what happened? I mean, like Svetlana was telling me the other day that she was shopping online and then she went into the store to try some of the clothes on, and she saw that there were like jeans that were like low rise jeans, like low hanging jeans. And she was like, I've not seen those type of jeans since I was like in college, like over 10 years ago, like 15 years ago. No way are people wearing them now. I'm like, people are wearing them now, right? In the 2000s, there we go. And guess what? They're in fashion again. 20 bell bottoms, flare pants. Fashion always has a comeback, right? It happens all the flipping time. Network marketing is the same situation, right? So here's what's happened. Bang. COVID, again, the big C here. COVID was the reset button, right? COVID was the reset button. And what this means is what was working 20 years ago before social media is what's working now. However, no one's prepared to do the dirty work. The dirty work. Now, we've got into a situation now where we can create lives, we can do reels, we can post stories, we can do written posts, we can do photo posts, we can do carousels. Drop an 8 in the chat if you're doing any of these at the moment, by the way. Okay, there is a recording of this just for those of you who are worried that the team can't get on or whatever. You're doing all these things. I get it. I know it. It's all fantastic. Whoop-de-doo. But you're sacrificing and you're giving up the dirty work by doing that. Example, you're creating the reels, you're creating the stories, you're creating the lives, you're creating the posts, and then you're praying to Mr. and Mrs. Universe, please, Mr. and Mrs. Universe, let my perfect prospect see this post, then message me saying, hey, can you send me the link? Whilst I'm asleep, then goes, doesn't matter, I've found it, clicked it, joined it, and then messages you to say, I've already got 10 people about to join my business. I actually don't need your support. I'm going to go crush it anyway. Like, you want it to just work without not doing the work. Now, the dirty work is you reaching out to people, you instigating the conversation, you attending in-person events. I know, attending in-person events sound like such a drain. What happens if I catch something? You probably will catch something. Fire. That's what you'll catch, right? And then maybe you'll get the flu or like a cold like a few days later. Maybe, right? But nothing beats the vibration that you get in person. You can go right now and you can go onto YouTube. I dare you to go do it. You can go onto YouTube and you can type in Coldplay live at Wembley or live at the O2 Arena and go watch it. You'll love it. It'll be great. You'll probably pause it and play it and pause it and play it all the way through. And then I dare you to go watch Coldplay at the O2 Arena or Wembley Arena, wherever it might have been, Wembley. And I guarantee you will tell stories to the rest of your family, the rest of your friends, for the rest of your life about that experience, and you will have forgotten what you felt or what the order of the songs were on YouTube. 100%. So we've got to go back to the basics. We have to understand that history has a tendency to repeat itself. COVID was the reset button. And right now, when all this social media that was crushing it was here, in fact, let's say it was about here. So let's say this is like 2000. right? Social media was around 2014 that it started to slowly take off, and then COVID comes and everything goes ballistic. Then the reset buttons happened. Social media still works. Social media is still absolutely fundamental. It's so important, but nothing is going to beat in person. Nothing is going to beat the basics. And here's what's happened. And this is where my emergency situation has come in. Is that you guys, me included, I'll hold my hands up here because I've realized it myself for myself, which allowed me to realize it in other people. We're overcomplicating things way too much. I'm going to say it again with an extra long pause again. We're overcomplicating things way too much. Drop an 8 in the chat if you feel that if you had to write down all the different things that you believe you had to do on a daily basis to build your business, it is overwhelming the number of things that's on that list. Look at the number of 8s. We're about to break Zoom with the number of 8s. I can't even read your names. It's going too fast. You're overcomplicating it. And I want those of you who are looking at the 8s, who are going, oh, it's not just me, to realize that it's not just you, it's an entire profession. Network marketing is very, very simple. You sell products, you recruit people. Whoops, that says recruit, would you believe? You launch them, and then you lead them to success. That is network marketing. That's all you do. Drop a 4 in the chat if you think that's pretty simple. 4 things. It's simple. However, right, okay, I've got to learn sales. So I've got the books, I've got the podcasts, I've got the courses, I've got the events, I've got the webinars, I've got the Zooms, I've got Guru 1, Guru 2, Guru 3. And then this person who says selling says I need to start selling on LinkedIn. I've got to start selling on YouTube. I've got to sell in person. I've got to sell at fairs. I've got to do this. So I've got to learn all that. Oh my God, then I've got to recruit. No. I'm not going to recruit yet. I'm just going to sell. I'm overwhelmed just on one part of the selling. I'm overwhelmed for you guys, right? I'm overwhelmed big time for you guys. So let's think about it. The basics. In order to really fly in this business, if you want to really fly, you have to unify. Until your team are singing the same song. In fact, let me do this exercise. It works really well in person. But I want you in the chat to think about your favorite song and then write down, or let's go your favorite singer. I want you to write down who your favorite singer is. Right? Just think about favorite Taylor Swift, Bon Jovi, Robin Williams, Pink, Eminem, Tina Turner, Sting, Coldplay, Chris Martin, Elvis, George Michael, Justin Bieber, Frazer. Yeah, nice one. I like that one. All right, Elton John. Okay. Now imagine that this is our entire team. We've got 1,000 people in our team. And I was to say to you, sing your favorite song from the singer that you put in. Oasis, Michael Jackson, Pink Floyd, Take That, whatever. How much of a mess would it be? Some of you are going, shake it off, shake it off, shake it off. Some of you are going, thriller, thriller night. Some of you are going, I feel it in my fingers. I feel it. There's fast pace, there's slow pace, there's raps, there's dance, there's Bocelli. Someone's singing Bocelli out the top of their lungs. Someone's singing Imagine All the People by John Lennon. Like, it is a mess. But we'll all think it's great. We'll be like, oh my God, the energy in here is electric. Now imagine this, big red buzzer. Boop. Yeah. Imagine that I say to you, right guys, stop what you're doing. After 3, I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, go. When I say go, I want you to sing row, row, row the boat. And I say 1, 2, 3, go. And we all start singing row, row, row the boat gently down the stream. Merrily, 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 life is but a dream. Now you're thinking like, whoa, this is cool. I don't feel like the odd one out. Everyone's singing the same song. And if everyone's singing the same song, guess what happens? If everyone's singing the same song, that means the person on the left knows the words, the person on the right knows the words. So if you get stuck or you don't know what the next words in the process are, you turn to your left and you say, what are the words? They tell you. You turn to the person on your right, and now you are all on the same page. You're singing from the same sheet. Exactly. So now you're unified. But in order to be unified, you got to simplify. So you have to simplify to unify to really fly. And if you don't simplify things, you will not be united. And if you're not united, you will not fly. Therefore, this is what's happening in the network marketing industry right now. Right. I'm going to go and build on Facebook Lives. And then you're going to go and do Instagram Reels, because Facebook Lives is boring. It's for old people now. And then the 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23-year-olds are like, Instagram? My mom and dad are on Instagram. I do TikTok. I'm only doing TikTok. But then you hear stories about Mr. Beast. And you're like, Mr. Beast is crushing it on YouTube, so I need to be doing it on YouTube. YouTube, that's a waste of time. Why don't you build a blog or create funnels? Or what about ads? Ads are apparently really, really cool. Oh, you know what? I'm just gonna do face-to-face. I know it's old school. I know it's kind of weird to do now, but I'm just gonna do face-to-face. And we get back to the situation where everyone's doing different things. And I'll ask you guys, drop a 7 in the chat if at the beginning of the year you maybe made a commitment to mastering one thing and already you're doing something else. And maybe you've done 3, 4, 5 different things since the commitment that you made at the beginning of the year. How many of you guys are nodding your head right now whilst you're doing That's the situation that we're in. That's the emergency right now. I've never known it. If I turned to my dad and said, Dad, what were you doing in the 90s and the noughties? He would have said, we would post out flyers or run ads in the newspaper. We would build relationships with people who contact us. We would get them onto a presentation. We would follow up, and we would close them. That's it. So, the basics. What are the basics? Generate a lead. Ask the question to see if they're open. Show them a presentation. Follow up. Close. That's it. Now, when you're listening to Stephen Bartlett's Diary of a CEO podcast about meditation or ice baths or how to be a power reader or how to live an amazing relationship with your dog or how to name your goldfish after your second husband or I want you to just take a step back. If you're in the car, then you can't really take a step back. I want you to just take a step back and go, how is this helping me with either generating leads, asking people if they're open, showing people a presentation, which could be a Zoom call, a recorded webinar, an in-person presentation, whatever, following up or closing. Because if it does not answer that, guess what you are doing? You are stretching yourself too thin, which is going to lead to a massive amount of overwhelm. Yes, Terry, is this moving me forward? Is what I'm learning right now moving me forward? When you go to an event, you need to be aware of what your situation is, what your error is, what your issue is, what your challenge is. And in the hallways, instead of being like, hey guys, let's do a TikTok reel together. No. Go and ask the people who are on the stage speaking, go and ask the people who are walking across the stage at the level that you want to get to. How do you ask the question to more people? Like, what do you do with your follow-up? How often do you follow up with people? When you're closing, what's that question that you've noticed that you've asked that's got you the most results? Is this making sense? Drop an 8. I really hope it is, because this is exactly what I've identified through like everyone in the profession right now who seems to be struggling. It's like, what are the basics? And then people seem to think But like, it can't be that easy. It's not. It's definitely not easy, but it is simple. It's a simple process. Think about it. Has the real estate industry changed in the last 20 years? Maybe a little bit with the front end in terms of like Rightmove or Property Finder or whatever. But you are driving down the road and you see a sign in someone's front garden that says for sale. And you go, ooh, I like this road. This looks like a cool road. So you call the number, or maybe you find it on the app. That is a lead. And then the agent is going to say, would you like to go for a booking? Would you like to go for a viewing? And you're like, yeah. Okay, I'll go for a viewing. And then they show you the tool, which is the house in this example. They give you a presentation. This is the living room. This is the kitchen. This is the dining room. This is the bedroom. This is the hall. This is another bedroom, another bedroom. Here is the garden. It's got double glazing, blah, 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 blah. And then they leave. And you get a call from them a week later, a day later, 3 days later. What did you think about it? Oh, I really liked it. I would actually like to go take my mother around it because she's got a really good eye for like if it's a good day or not. Is that okay? Yes. So you do another follow-up, another viewing, and then another follow-up, another viewing, another follow-up. They make an offer, they close on the deal, they move in. But selling real estate is trillions and trillions and trillions and trillions. I can't think of an industry that does more income or more revenue than the real estate game. Think about, imagine how much money all the properties in the world that have been sold in 1 year is. It would be crazy how much that is. And that is their pipeline. And the real estate agents who are selling these houses, the top 1% make the money. The rest seem not to. And here's what I love about this, guys. There's 1,000 people watching this right now. And there's lots of people who are trying to get in and they're just not able to get in. And we're recording this and maybe another 1,000 people will see it. But there are well over 1 million people doing network marketing around the world. Well over 1 million people around the world. So if that's 1,000 people out of 1 million, that's literally 0.1% of people are watching this right now. You have the chance. You have the chance to be the top percentage, the top percentile who make all the money. Isn't that an amazing thing to know? Okay, so we've got to focus on the basics. Drop a 9 if that's clear. Drop a 9 and that's clear. Again, it's an emergency. I want you to imagine there's a huge reset button like on your Game Boy, and I just want you to whack it as hard as you can. Because from now on, it's day one today, day one of just doing the basics. Ignoring all the BS that's outside of the basics. Stop learning how to meditate. Stop learning how to do an ice bath. Stop learning how to walk your dog backwards. Stop learning how to do the downward facing dog on a Sunday. Like, if that's like a hobby thing of yours, great. But guess what? It is not going to build your business knowing how to do the downward facing dog for 30 seconds. It's not. Oh, but dead hangs. I've heard dead hangs are really good for your shoulders. And what's that got to do with lead, ask the question, tool, follow up, close? What's that got to do with it? Nothing. So then leave it alone. Stop allowing you to get distracted on purpose. You guys are allowing yourself to get distracted to give yourself an excuse. That's what you're doing. Because procrastination is a symptom of anxiety. And if you're procrastinating on the basics, then I want you to find out what is the real reason. What is the real reason why I'm not doing the basics? Are you scared of what's next? Are you scared of what's next? Because a lot of people are. It's one of the biggest fears outside of self-doubt and shame. Okay, so when I generate a lead and I ask them if they're open, when they say yes, they're open, what the hell do I send? Or when I send them something and I've got to follow up, what do I say? But then when I do follow up and it comes to closing, oh my God, I've got to close. And what happens if if someone joins the team, no. If someone joins the team, then how do I get them started? And when I get them started and then I go to the event, I usually go on my own because it's really easy. I make all my plans. I go to the event. I have my notepad and my pens and blah, 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 blah. And then all of a sudden you go, oh, but if there's two other people who are with me, like, what am I going to do? Do I have to arrange a dinner? Do I have to pay for the dinner? Do we share a room? Do we have a pajama party? Do we get pizzas? What happens if someone's a vegetarian, another one has a nut allergy? Like, oh my God, it's just so much stress. It's so much more stressful building it with a team. I'd rather just do it on my own. And then you go all the way to the beginning and you go, I'd rather just sell the product. Yeah, we are powers in numbers. We are definitely more powers in numbers. And the amazing thing about this business right now is there are not as many people building the business today than there was 3 years ago. Now, a lot of you are like, oh God, that's not good. That means the business is going backwards. I look at that as game on. Because in this game, you have to outperform and outlast people to out-earn people. That means it's more, you're going to get a bigger market share. There's more of an opportunity to you. It's not as loud as it was 3 years ago, but people still need more money than they ever needed before. So, got a question for you as I take a sip of my tea. Slurpy, slurpy. Sorry for that, guys. All right. Let me know in one word, do you want a job income or a business income? Do you want an income that pays you like a job or an income that pays you like a business? Business, mega business. Okay, cool. For those of you who are saying business, you have to focus on doing the business activities, not the job activities. This is what the job, let me explain this. Job activities. Selling the product. You're putting way, you might have heard recently some companies over in the US, I think there was 3 in the last 4 months. There's about 3 companies in the US who removed their network marketing model to go completely all in on affiliate model. And a lot of people are scared. They're like, what happens if that happens to my company? Of course it will happen to your company if you give them a reason to. You're so good at selling, they're like, we might as well reward all the sellers way more because they're producing all the volume. I would. Like, from a business perspective, I'm more of a people person, so it'd be very difficult for me to do it. But I would look at the numbers and go, whoa, all this volume that's being created is from customers. Why don't we give the people who are getting the customers way more money than we are right now? Let's give them 50%. Because there's only a few people in those organizations that have all these big networks. Of course they would. Like from a business perspective. However, here's the problem. Like a lot of jobs, good things come to an end. So you'll sell. Month 1, month 3, month 6, month 9, month 12, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years later, and guess what will happen? You'll have burnout. You'll get so burnt out that the last thing you want to do in the world is sell another flipping product. Although you know it's an incredible product, it's changed your life, everyone should use it, but you're just flipping tired. So you decide to take a step back for 3 months, right? You just take a step back. I'm going to take a little step back for 3 months, and guess what happens to the income? Starts dwindling away because you have no leverage. You have no leverage. So then guess what people start doing? I've heard that instead of selling this product for $100 a month that people keep saying is too expensive and the company give me $20 for selling it, I've heard that I can sell a digital product that someone else created to teach people how to teach people how to teach people to teach people, teaching people how to teach people to teach people, teaching people to teach people, teaching people, teaching people. I can sell it for $100 and get $90 commission. Or I can sell it for $100 and get $120 commission. Oh, best business ever. How long does that last? Sounds like a pyramid scheme to me. And it's happening all over the place. It's happening by so many people. Some people call it MRR, like master reselling rights. Some people, coming up like these crazy digital courses that have zero value, teaching people to give zero value to other people. Blah, 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 blah. And because you're so focused on selling, you're going, instead of selling this product and I'm getting $10 a pop, $20 a pop, I might as well do the same thing, but get $100, $200, $300, even if it's not going to bring anyone an emotional benefit. And by the way, the completion rate of courses these days is less than 10%. Anyway, I shall move on because I'm going on a rant here. Okay? So the business building is recruiting, launching, that says launch, let's imagine, and leading. So I want you to, this is like a little, let's say it's a little assignment for you guys. I want you to imagine that you have like a pie chart. This is a pie chart. And I want you to split it into 4 sections, dependent on the percentages that you believe that you're truly focusing on when it comes to these 4 things. I'm going to have it a guess that your pie chart is going to look something like selling, recruiting. Haven't got anyone to launch yet, haven't got anyone to lead yet. I'm going to have it a guess that it's that for most people. For most people. And in a way, you would think, yeah, that's kind of right in a way. It's time for a mindset shift. Recruiting, selling, launching. The leading will come back. The leading will come when you have the big team. But I'm telling you now, for those of you who haven't realized yet, it's November next month. You know what that means? Black Friday. You know what that means after November? December. You know what that means? Christmas time. Do you know what it means after December? January. You know what that means? New year, new goals, new opportunity. And guess what happens after January? February. Do you know what that means? Oh, I suck at my goals, but I can give it another go if I hit the reset button. Bang. Oh, what's the best time of year to be recruiting? October. Oh, wow. That's why we call it Rocktober. Right? Rocktober. The R in Rocktober, by the way, is for recruiting. So just make the commitment for the rest of the year. I am going to become a recruiting machine. I'm going to do the basics. I'm going to have more conversation about the business. Yes, there'll be times where I sell the product during the holidays and during conversation that I have about the product and during Black Friday, blah, blah, blah. But I promise you this game is way more fun when you play it with a team. It's a team sport. It's a contact sport and it's a team sport. So we have to get back to recruit people to join our life-changing profession. Because that's what it is. Your product is game-changing, but this profession is life-changing. And for some reason, somewhere along the line, we've started to doubt that this isn't the greatest profession in the world. So if you genuinely believe this is the greatest way to make money, drop a 1 in the chat. I want to make sure that we actually have the right people on here. And yes, sometimes you'll doubt it. Like, oh yeah, but like things are shifting. Guys, things were shifting in the 80s and the 90s and the noughties and the 10s and the 20s. And guess what? Network marketing is still here. And it's still thriving. And it still provides the greatest way to make money, in my opinion. And my opinion matters. I'm just kidding. It kind of does. It matters to me. All right. So let's talk about social media real quick. So social media has gotten way too complicated. And again, it's very, very simple. And here's the question that I've got for you when it comes to social media. What's the thing on social media right now that you're trying to figure out? We should be back in the game. Are we back in the game? My audio might have, just do me a favor, drop a 5 in the chat if you can hear me now. If you can, we're good. nice. You guys have got me covered. We'll go for like another 15 minutes, then we'll be done. My rant will be over and the emergency call will be over. All right. So almost all of you have said algorithm, followers, leads. And here's what I really want you to understand it. And this maybe it makes you kind of go, oh my God, I get it. Is the reason, like, I want you to ask the question, why? You want to build followers or you want to build a brand. Why? Because I want more people to speak to. Why? Because I want more people to join my business. Okay. So it's not a follower thing. It's your business thing. Because guys, at the end of the day, there are only ever two problems: personal problems or business problems. That's it. The personal problems are all the drama, mindset, environment. Oh, this is happening. I can't do it today. Procrastinating, self-sabotage, blah, 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 blah. The business problems are lack of numbers or lack of understanding about what you have to do. So we have lots of platforms, lots of features, a lot of people focused on becoming a content creator, but not a network marketer. So instead of learning the network marketing fundamentals, the network marketing basics, which I shared before, and then the network marketing focuses, we're focused on how do I make myself look better in front of other people? Instead of how do I help people who I'm in front of become better? Say it again. Instead of how do I look better in front of people, instead it's how do I get the people who are in front of me to be better? Basics better more often. That's absolutely fundamentally true. Stop trying to become a content creator and start being a network marketing professional. Because I promise you this, if you become the professional content creator, you won't be in network marketing for the long term. Why? A brand will come along and go, hey, we'll offer you $80 per post whenever you talk about our shampoo, and you go, really? $80? All I'm going to do is talk about the shampoo? They're like, yep. And you're like, right, I'm going to start a podcast. I'm going to do a YouTube channel. I'm going to have a TikTok. Bum, 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 bum. You're worth way more than that. But because you've taken all this time to be this professional content creator, these deals start coming in. You're like, I'm famous. I'm famous because people do things for status. Don't let the content creation make you distracted. So whenever you're creating content, is this helping someone I'm in front of become better? Is this moving them through my funnel, meaning lead, ask the question, tool, follow up, close? If not, what's the point? You're out with your partner and you see a nice building or a nice wall with a nice color on it, and you go to your partner, hey, take a photo of me. He takes a photo and you're like, that was rubbish. Take another one. Does another one. My eyes were closed. That was rubbish. I can't post that. Take another. He takes 37 photos. You use the 37th. Statistically, that's usually the one you use, the last one. You take the 37th, you put 3 filters on it. It takes you 38 minutes to make yourself look like a unicorn, and then that person joins your team, meets you in real life, and goes, ooh, there's that saying, never meet your heroes. Definitely true. What's the point? So, I'm telling you this because I've identified it in myself. I've identified it in other people. And what I will tell you, I'll give you the biggest warning I can give you on social media right now, or in life right now, is a lot of gurus and a lot of experts are telling you to learn things so that they can make money. And I can tell you that, and I'm being completely transparent with you guys, because I've done it a couple of times as well. Now, was it my intention? Not really. And maybe this call shouldn't have been an emergency call. It should be a confession call. It wasn't my intention to create a course because I could make money and we could build our business. My intention was because I genuinely thought, like, people want to know this because I kept getting asked it. But really? I should have just taught the basics over and over and over again and not really cared when someone said, there's got to be more to the basics. Instead of changing my message, I should have just kept changing the audience. And I just want you to know that whenever you see these different courses appear, whether it's from myself, whether it's from these gurus, these experts, like the algorithm 7.0, I just want you to really think, how does this generate my leads, ask the question, expose the tool, follow up more, or close the deal more? Now, for those of you who have followed me over the years and you enjoy following me, then I hope you know that the value that I provide is significantly more than the investment that I ask for with all the things that we do. But I'm going to warn you, you're probably going to get bored because I'm going to be talking about the basics over and over and over and over and over again, because until you finish my sentences, you don't really know it. Because it's not about the number of books you read, it's about the number of books you've read once. Sorry, it's not about the one book that you've read. It's not about the number of books you read, it's about the number of times you've read one book. That's all it is. And you complete personal development when your mentor is Jim Rohn and you start finishing his sentences, or you say things that he's said before, or you say it in the style where you're like, oh my God, that was my inner Jim Rohn. That's when you complete it. But if you talk about 1,000 different things or learn 1,000 different things, it's not going to work. Because you'll never be able to complete it all, because you'll never know it like them. So it's time to remove all the BS and just give the steps to repeat in order to win, finally. Who would like that? Like the repeatable steps that you know so well that you can simplify that process, unify to fly. Because remember, row, row, row your boat. Merrily, 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 merrily. How many words are there? Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. Merrily, 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 life is but a dream, I think. What's that? 13 words or 18 words? 13 words. Like there's more than 13, but some of them are repeated. 13 words. But we can all sing it together. There's 1,000 of us all singing it together, word by word by word by word. Oh my Lord, the whole world is going to hear us sing that song. 13 words. 13 words. Anyway, so let me give you, and by the way, guys, let's say that's my rant, that's my emergency call, is just to make you realize that this is such a simple business. But you have to know what your basics are, and you have to do something with those basics every single day. And don't give yourself a distraction to give yourself an excuse not to do the basics. Now, some of you, because of the way I am and the way I get a bit fired up about this industry, because it's in my blood, it's in my DNA, like some of you are going to be like, oh my God, too. Like drop a 9 if you're fired up too. But this is what's going to happen. You're going to go like, oh my God, I'm fired up, I'm fired up, I'm fired up, I'm fired up, I'm fired up. Crack open the bottle of champagne, you spray it on yourself. I am so fired up, someone's going to need to put me down, right? Put me out, sorry, not put me down, that'd be weird, right? You don't have to put the fire up, and then you're going to sit on the sofa, turn the TV on and watch Netflix. What's the point? You need to be a wildfire to make the news. Breaking news doesn't come from the campfire. This is the campfire right now. Hopefully you've caught a spark and you go out there and you go and become a wildfire so that it comes on the television or YouTube from the anti-MLMers, breaking news. Wildfire in Belgium. Michael is sweeping through the nation. Wildfire in the US. John is taking state by state by state. Wildfire through New Zealand. Roberto, that's probably more of a Spanish name. Roberto in Spain is going through all Madrid, cleaning up in his network marketing business. So, some of you guys already know this because we announced it, last year, the Success Summit Online. Drop a 5 in the chat if you did any of the Success Summit Onlines over the last few years. I'd be super curious to know. So, me and the team, we got together after I'd had this realization probably like 6 months ago and I wanted to see it unfold. And we were like, right, guys, November's coming up. We were obviously it's not coming up 5 months ago, but like we were planning the rest of the year, and I said like November's coming up, so November, Success Summit Online. Let's talk about it. And we were talking about it, and I said, stop. I've just had this realization that everyone's overcomplicating things. People are on masterminds learning 5 different things a week and being like, there's too much. I'm getting my guests like to come on and share their strategies, and people are going, there's so much value, but I don't know what to do. I'm not doing Success Summit Online again. I'm not getting guests on again. Not this year anyway, and probably not next year and the year after. Maybe in the future I will, when we feel that, things are in momentum again and people have mastered the basics so they know what to focus on. So what I've decided to do is I've reached out to a bunch of companies that I am working with in terms of like I'm coaching, I'm consulting, I'm speaking at. They asked me to do workshops and boot camps for their organizations, blah, 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 blah. And I said to them, would it be beneficial? And I said, it might be like maybe the fundamentals, but would it be beneficial to your organization if I created like the absolute beginning to end of social media, like what to do in the beginning, the very, very beginning in terms of niche branding, social media setup, all the way through to like recruiting a stranger, like, because that's what they say their issue is, right? People aren't talking to enough people, they can't generate enough leads, blah, blah, blah. And every single one of them were like, yeah. And it was like a siren was going off in my head. It's happened a few times to me, but like over the years, it's just been like big epiphany moments to me. And there's a siren going off in my head being like, wow, like the fundamentals, because I've done courses on lots of different things, but I've never really done something that's like, these are the fundamentals, just know them inside out and you will win. So what we're doing, instead of Success Summit Online, on the 8th, 9th, and 10th of November, we are going to be doing something called Social Selling Secrets. It's very difficult for me to say because I have a lisp, right? Social Selling Secrets. So it's basically the secrets to becoming an expert when it comes to social selling for your network marketing business. So here's how it works. Day 1 on the 8th of November is all about constructing, right? So like building your niche, your brand, and your social media platforms to be optimized for success, right? And a lot of people suck when it comes to their profiles. They don't know who they want to talk to. They don't know how they help them, which is your niche and your brand. They don't know what they should be talking about, and they don't know how to set up their profile. My goal is to get everyone who takes part in this workshop to know that day 1 inside out, so that they become the person in the company that teaches it to everyone. So that everyone in the company knows exactly what to do when it comes to setting things up. Day 2 is all about creating. So like creating content, the content creation strategy behind what you have to do. Removing all the BS, removing all the complications, all the algorithms, the captions, the flipping hashtags, the trending audios, the viral hooks, blah, 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 blah. Like all of that stuff that's absolutely pointless and just a massive distraction from the basics. So the basics of content creation that's going to help you on the basics. Can I say basics one more time? Can we get a basics in the chat? Right? I feel like can I get an amen? But can I get a basics in the chat? Thank you. Fantastic. Hey, good job you guys can spell basics as well. That's half the battle, right? I can't spell half the words that I've written on the board. Okay? And then the third day is all about right? So converting the people who you're able to follow you, people who are engaging with you, how to convert them into customers or team members, because that's what we're talking about here, right? We need to start recruiting again. We need to go and recruit the masses to find the classes. We need to go out there and make a big difference with this network marketing thing. So again, 3 days. It will last about 90 minutes each day. My goal is not to bore you with waffle and loads of different stories. My goal is to, here's my screen I'm going to share my screen, do this, do that, click here, click that, get that idea here, boom, 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 send this message, boom, 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 boom. And again, it's going to be the 8th, 9th, and 10th of November. Now, let me share my screen because there are two different options. Let's have a look if I can do this properly. Oh, did I do it? Can you see my screen, guys? If you guys can see my screen, I would be so happy about that. Can you guys see it? Let me just check that you get. Yes, you can. Amazing. All right. So there's a QR code, or you can go to www.frazerbrookes.com/secrets. That QR code should work. If for any reason it's pixelated, then don't worry. Go to frazerbrookes.com/secrets. It's $27. Let me just explain this real quick. It's $27 for the full access of the 90 minutes each day. Right? So why social media, identifying and building your niche, understanding branding, profile and bio optimization. Then day 2 is all about choosing your path with like, what do you really want? Like I don't want to choose it for you. Do you really want to be a top salesperson with the customers? Do you want to recruit and build a team? Or do you want to build a brand because that's the future that you have and network marketing is a stepping stone for you? And then the content creation strategies to be able to fill the basics, right? To be able to support the basics and not doing anything too complicated. Then day 3 is all about lead generation strategies. Even though you struggle to get followers right now, the world is changing and getting followers on social media is very, very different now. Right? So I'm going to share with you how you get followers, how you build leads on Facebook, on Instagram, and then building relationships with prospects, objection handling, closing sales, and recruiting new team members. Now, the VIP option, it includes everything I've just shared before, but after the 90 minutes is over, we will have a really, really quick comfort break. It depends if I go over. I usually over deliver with the 27, the general ticket. So the plan is 90 minutes, but it probably will go for like an hour and 45 minutes. And then at the top of the hour, right? So after like a 20-minute break or so, we will start the VIP only session, and that will be 1 hour long. And it will be more personalized to the people who are attending that Zoom. So we'll do profile reviews. We'll go in depth on branding and niche. We'll do live Q&A. That's for day 1. On day 2, again, we do the same thing. We have a 1 hour VIP only session where we talk about, I'm actually going to review some of your content to give you feedback on like, hey, I like the idea, but you need to change this. Then I'm actually going to give you the advanced know, like, trust funnel or know, love, trust funnel strategy. This is not a funnel that you have to build on ClickFunnels and blah, 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 blah. Although that could be an advanced strategy, this is a very simple way to leverage your content to get people to know you, love you, trust you. And then we're going to do another live Q&A session just to give you clarity. Then on day 3, our conversion day, there's personalized messenger reviews. So if you guys can actually submit me some of the messages you've sent to your prospects or the messages that people have sent to you, right? I'll then be able to tell you, this is good, this is good, this is good, this is bad, this is bad, this is bad. Then obviously tailored feedback on objections and closing, live Q&A session as well. Everyone who gets the VIP will get lifetime access to the recordings of this. And then, because Black Friday is coming up, anyone who is a VIP, I'm going to do a Black Friday masterclass where I'm going to share my Black Friday formula, how to accelerate the number of sales you make during Black Friday, and then what do you do after Black Friday so there's not a huge dip, because a lot of people have a huge Black Friday and then for like 2 weeks, because the offer's not there, they don't share it to anyone, and then they have a huge dip in their business and they're like, oh well, that was kind of pointless having a big spike. So that's only available to the VIP people. If you go to frazerbrookes.com/secrets, all the information will be there. You can share that with your team as well if you want to. I have recorded this entire session and we will email it out to everyone. We will email it out to everyone. Ooh, I'll leave that on the screen for you guys. Oh, my face is in the way. Let me see if I can move my face. Sorry. There we go. I'll move my face a little bit. There we are. Oh, wow. Have to admit a load of people. Sorry, guys, for the people trying to get in. So that's the situation. It's 8th, 9th, and 10th of November. Doesn't matter what product that you're using, whether it's low ticket, high ticket, fragrances, water machines, travel, coffee, gratings of the unicorn horn combined with toenails from the monks, like whatever it might be that you're selling, that's what we're going to do. And again, This will be something that a lot of companies that I'm working with in the future, especially, will be bringing in-house as well. So you guys will all get a massive head start, because we won't be doing that till probably the second part of next year anyway. So you guys are going to be getting a head start on that. There also is, yeah, that's it, I think. Oh yeah, there